Yeah. Yeah. It do, yeah. It's a little bit. I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna do everything, and we're gonna go in. We're gonna talk to him. You know. Told him that I was coming today. Boom. Today, you know, we have a longtime friend of my family. It's not no bias stuff either. I mean, everybody come on here. They have an even platform where they can speak what they have to speak. But this is a friend of my family, you know, and I love her. You know what I mean? We have candidate council at large, Kathy Mcbride, in the building tonight. Yes. Along with DJ Juice in the background, pushing the agenda.
That's my fan
DJ, yeah, right? DJ Juice pushing the agenda. You know what I mean? How y'all doing? Hey, Charles Coleman, how you doing? Rhonda Hall, how you doing? Rasan Ferguson. Yeah, I know the sign backwards because the camera is flipped, but if you put it in your mind, it'll flip. And when you go to that voting, what number is she?
Ballot number 5.
Ballot number 5. You touch that ballot number 5, and it'll be all good. 200 E-Dub, what's good? Look like another great show, of course. Yeah, share it as much as you can. She got heavy props because she's jumping on, and it's going already to 21 and 25 and all that stuff. Luddy Austin, what's happening?
That's my brother.
Yep. You see who I got in the background. Rita Rogers, what's up, sis? Patricia Jackson, what's going on? David Owens, how y'all doing? Let's get into a little bit of politics. Let's ask questions. Let's make great selections, and let's make the city great. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do.
Alrighty, we want to move the city forward.
That's right. We want to move the city forward. We want to get in there and make it different in our lifetimes. Something beautiful. Charity Lee shouts you out at
yeah. How are you?
You guys should be able to hear her clearly. If you can't, tell me so I can ask her. She can move up and she can speak to you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the music down so you can really get into it if it's anything. But if you know, she's running for counselor at large, councilwoman at large. Icy Justice, what's good? You see who I got in the back? Show your face, Juice. And the sign. In the back, you know, that's what we got. We got something going today, so we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna talk to her and see what's making, you know, how can we make the city great with her being elected. That's right. Moving. Yeah, tell them your slogan.
My slogan is moving Trenton forward together.
Yep. So Miss Cat, since they ain't asking any questions yet, everybody just on here to be seen.
You want me to
talk
just
to him.
Go ahead and explain what an at-large
yes.
council
And
is?
then give them your background and history, and we can go forward. Yeah.
Well, my name is Kathy Mcbride. I'll give my background first. My name is Kathy Mcbride. I'm a lifelong resident of Trenton, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Trenton when I was 2 months old, and I've been here ever since. My parents moved here when I was 2 months old. I raised my children here, and now I have grandchildren. And my position is that I want to move Trenton forward together with the community so that Trenton will be looked at in a different light, because we're only 7 square miles, and there's great things that has come out of Trenton, and there's still great things to come out of Trenton. My children are 3 of them, and so I know that my grandchildren and my neighbors' children and my nieces and my nephews, they can do great things too if we give them the opportunity. So that's who I am. I'm Kathy Mcbride. Been in Trenton all my life, dedicated public servant, and the council seat that I'm running for is an at-large seat. And the at-large seat is for all 4 wards, from south, east, north, and west. And then you have your candidates for the ward. You have a ward candidate for south, east, north, and west. So there's 7 council seats. There's 3 at-large seats. So on May the 8th, you have the opportunity to select your candidate for at-large. My position is simple. I care about what happens in the city of Trenton because my mother is 81 years old. She lives on Martin Luther King Boulevard. She's not going anywhere. And I need to always try to make it safe for my mother and my grandchildren and all of the residents here in the city of Trenton.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay,
Keep going. I'm sorry. Every time you say something good, I throw the bell in.
My position is that with the police department, if we have a good police director, someone that could bring the violence or get the violence under control, because we're such a small community. 7 square miles is not big at all. And so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to fix the problem. We just have to have people in place that care about our community.
That's right.
So I believe that the Trenton Police Department, the director that is selected, has to be one that has an interest in the city. We have a non-residential law, so all the police officers can come from, anywhere in the state. I believe the state or the director can come in from any state.
Do you think it'd be better if the police director would be from Trenton?
Well,
or is it anybody that you have in mind that you think that can run Trenton? Yeah, from the town, because I don't think we have to go out of town to find anything.
I do believe that we have the talent
right here, right
in the city. That's
right.
I don't know too much about how the next mayor will make his selection, but I do believe that we have talent right here in the city of Trenton.
That's right.
For a police director.
That's right. That's right.
But that will be up to the mayor to decide that, and the council only has the advice and consent. We give the advice and consent for all directors. But getting back to my point, until we can stabilize the violence in our city, we're going to have a problem with bringing in new families that have just gotten married and want to start a family. And the reason that we're going to have a problem with that is because young folk don't want to take their children into a city where there's gun violence and just in the schools or performing at its lowest level. So they don't want to bring their children here. And so we are losing a tax base like that. So the police is very important because if they can help get this under control with the help of the residents. Now let's not leave the residents out. Because the residents play a very important role here. Most of the children and most of the young men, they're right from our communities. So we have to take responsibility for the role that we play in this. We have to be more vigilant about the right superintendent that we choose, the right board members that we choose to make a difference in the schools.
That's right.
Because the schools,
equal,
the police, all of that go hand in hand. So, it's especially when you are trying to get people to come in and do business in the city.
That's right.
That's our job. Our job is to try to make Trenton ready for business.
That's right.
Come do business in the city of Trenton. But in the same breath, we have to work on our issues so that we can attract businesses to come into the city of Trenton, attract developers to come in the city of Trenton. So we must get the right police director in.
That's right.
We must have the right superintendent in for the schools.
That's right.
We must have the right board members sitting down representing our children at the school. There should be no children that have gone without an IEP for 2 years.
That's right.
It's unheard of in any other municipality.
That's right.
So we have work to do too as residents of the city. And everybody has a small role to play. It's hard when you go out into the community and the people are saying to you, you know, why are you here knocking on my door?
Yeah.
You only come around on election time.
Yep, that's what that's what's heard out here.
And then, you know, I have to, you know, pull out my little sheet of paper and say, you know what, this is how I have demonstrated what I have done for the city of Trenton. These are the deeds. This is what I've done.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone shouldn't be treated with like a broad brush. You know, what have you done? You know, you have to look up the candidates and find out what they've done. Make good, sound decisions. You know, when you go to the polls, you need some information about your candidates. You know, you can Google your candidate. You can go to city council meetings. You know, there's all type of ways that you can find out about a candidate before you make that decision on May the 8th. So, but, you know, I get a lot of that when I go out. You know, people aren't familiar because they don't want to get involved. They feel like, oh, it makes no sense to vote. It's all going to turn out the same exact way. Everything is corrupt.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah, that's right. That's
so,
what we,
you know, we're trying to change that perception.
Yeah,
you know?
And
that's what we're trying to do.
That's right.
And so going back to the city and some of the things that need to happen in this city is the people need to take part in the council meetings. It doesn't matter who you vote for. If you don't stand behind your candidate when things come up where they need support, you know, we're going to have the same problem. You have to take a little bit of time and you have to stand up. You have to come out to some of these meetings. I go into the senior buildings, and there's no tenant association in some of the buildings. You know, they have to have a tenant association in order for their point to be taken seriously, because no one is going to listen to 100 complaints at 100 different times. When you have an organization in your building and the president can speak for the tenants in the building, it makes a difference if one person is speaking. That organization makes a difference. And so, you know, going through the city, noticing that there's no tenant association is not a good thing. You have communities that won't come together. You know, you have people that just don't want to get involved. And my thing is, no matter who you select as a mayor, no matter who you select as a candidate at large or your ward candidate, you need to support them. You know. That's
right. That's right. Can I ask you something? Because you have been in town. When did wasn't Trenton at one time was together, right? When did it start separate? Because it's a certain type of separation that's out here in the city. A certain separation, and it's like a real mean separation, and it never was like that before.
What is it? Sort of like a class separation?
Yeah. Some type, like a strong class separation, and it was never like that before. And well, in my life, it's coming up. We used to play basketball together, play sports together. You'll have your disagreements, but you still be friends and become family and whatever whatsoever. Now it's like a little different, like string.
Yeah, you know, like there's a couple things, and I don't like to kick anybody's back out. You know, but I just want to state a fact here. You know, when back it had to be about like maybe 15 years ago. When our current mayor at the time started accepting regional contribution agreement funds from all of the outside municipalities that were supposed to build housing for the poor in the rich communities, so that families, single mothers or single fathers, could take their children to different municipalities that were a little bit more affluent than Trenton. Well, our mayor at the time started accepting what you call RCA funding from those municipalities. And so when he did that, he began to build houses here for the poor. And so the richer municipalities or the more affluent municipalities weren't held accountable to build housing because he was accepting the money.
Yeah.
So we had to build here.
Oh, okay.
So that set the trend
Yeah.
to almost like make Trenton the concentrated
Yeah,
poverty.
yeah, right.
And so once he did that, you know, it was bad because when you bring in those people from other municipalities and you
Yeah.
bring their poor people in, and I hate to say poor, so I'll say less fortunate. People in, then you have to have space in the schools for them. You have to have the police here. You have to be able to treat them medically. So there's a lot that comes with the family when they come. And so when he accepted that money, he accepted all of those families, and we began to be the concentrated poverty center.
So you saying we blended in with whatever it was? Not saying that we were.
No, we didn't.
None of us were rich. None of us were rich or nothing like that. But we can't. I mean, the idea
just
of whatever.
in a different element. Instead of taking the monies that we were getting already and building on that, he was accepting other municipalities' problems, which caused us to have greater problems.
Okay,
and so when Corzine came in, Corzine stopped it. And so we couldn't go any further with it. And thank goodness that he did stop it. You know, because you know, our city is suffering because of it.
That's
you know?
right. That's right.
There was a lot of bad decisions made here in Trenton.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and like I said, I don't like to talk about everybody's. You know, you see the problem. You know, they gave us a hotel. They bonded that hotel out on the backs of our grandchildren. The hotel is closed now, and we, as residents that have property here, we're still paying for that hotel, and the doors are closed. But they knew that when they begin to build that hotel. My late friend Nate Jones. Nate Jones and myself, we fought against the hotel because of the bonds that they had to take out to build the hotel. And we knew that that hotel was not going to have a 97% occupancy per night to keep it afloat. Then they built it as a non-profit. You know, so there was all kinds of problems that came along with that hotel. And this is the result. You know, this is what Nate was fighting against. It's what I was fighting against. And now we're still paying taxes on a hotel that is not even in existence anymore. So it was a problem from the beginning. You know, but like I said, Trenton is only 7 square miles. So if we all pull our heads together and make some wise decisions on May the 8th and vote for people that has demonstrated that they will do the job, demonstrated some type of loyalty to the community, then we can change this thing around. You know?
Let me read a couple of these. If you guys want to call in, talk to Kathy directly. The number is 855-825-3420. The number is 855-825-3420. And she dropped my signs down here and it sound good. So let's go. Hold on. Let me read a couple of things on. Daddy Ice was good. Michelle Reed Lee likes the video. Darren D. Johnson, what's good? He says, love you, Mom. Maddox, what's good, homie? Yeah, what's good? Love everything you're doing. Salute to you, too. Thanks for watching, too. Patricia Jackson says, congrats, Kathy McBride. Dawn Daniel says, good evening, Dramatic. And hello, Juice, my strong peeps. And shout out to Kathy McBride. Shout out to Dawn. Born Wise, what's good? I know the sign backwards. We got the phone flipped. Kim Beecham says, what's good? Winston, Miss Kathy, and DJ Juice. Shout out to Kim. Born Wise also says, DJ Juice, I remember meeting you in at the Freehold Race Mall back in the day. Carla Williams says, peace and love, Miss Kathy. Winston and Juice. The Illmatics, that's right. Dimitri, what's good? Demetria Macy says, Juice, you didn't mention anything about me helping her out. I had no clue you had an interest. Now I want to hear her ideas for the abandoned bank, library, police station, shopping center. Wow, it's a lot of stuff. This is on Hermitage. Also about the blocks of abandoned homes on Stuyvesant, and how the how will she hand calls in the middle of the handle calls in the middle of the night from myself and other community leaders about shootings and such. She kind of went in on it, but if you want to talk on because all of it kind of had a direction towards each other.
Well, see, the shooting part of it is something. The violent part of it.
Yeah.
The violence part of it is something that I've been doing for the last 25 years.
Yep, she advocate. Yep.
Like I advocate for gun violent victims. So that's something that I've done for 25 years, just being out here. But I'm just going to tell each and every one of you out there in the audience listening, you know, you have to get involved.
Yeah.
Do you know how many parents' homes that I have visited over the last 25 years? And when you call them up, nobody wants to get involved. Nobody wants to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody wants to sit around and have a barbershop conversation. Well, this is real.
That's right.
This is reality. This is not about the housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is about the city of Trenton, and you guys have to lend a helping hand. If you want to know some of the things that I've done, you can pull me up on Google. You can Google my name, Kathy Mcbride, and I'll come up. But I was the organization, the Mothers Against Violence, was the first organization that I started after I lost my son. And most people in Trenton, they know me from the Mothers Against Violence, not from the 4 years that I sat on the council.
That's right.
And I have helped so many parents with the violent piece of it, you know, offering counseling, getting meeting spaces for the mothers to meet. You know, my daughter is a certified clinical psychologist.
That's right.
I would bring her in. My oldest daughter is an attorney. I would bring them in because they lived through the death of my son. And so they always want to help in the community. So I would always have a team that I could bring in to assist, but I could never get any support. Bishop Ravenel and the Greens and Miss Booker, you know, those are the people that has been my 25-year supporters, and my family, of course, the Bells and the Mcbrides and the Bryants. But I'm telling you, it's hard keeping an organization afloat when you can't get any support, even from the mothers that have lost children.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, this is not a one-man band
that's
here.
Right. Yeah.
And there's nobody coming in. There's no white knight coming in to save us. We are our savior. But you have to get up. You have to get up and get involved in order to make a difference.
That's right.
You know, I'll do my part because I always do my part, but you have to do your part too.
That's right.
You know, when you're talking about the abandoned housing, when I was on the council,
come up if you can. You all right? Come up.
When you talk about the abandoned housing, when I was on the council, that was one of my pet peeves. I went to the inspector. We had several meetings. We were able to ask for a grant from the state, and Christie did give us money, but it takes so much money to demolish just a few houses. And so we have to have people on the council that want to work together, because it takes 4 votes to get anything done. You need 4 people to help move the city forward. You know, when you have a council and they're continuously bickering and fighting on the council and being sidetracked, you know, you're not going to get anything done for the public, for the residents. And that's when the problem comes in. The residents will not step up and say, listen, I need you guys to work together. We need to see a change in our community. And the way to get it done is for the council to work together. But the community don't come out. Everybody is using excuses. And and excuses come a dime a dozen, and
That's
you can't
right.
get anything done like that. You have to get involved.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you got to get involved in the neighborhood.
And so, to answer the question about the abandoned houses, the abandoned houses is very important, because the abandoned houses is not only is it a fire hazard,
Yeah.
the squatters,
Yeah.
but it's also dangerous for our children walking to and from school.
That's right.
And you know, it's sad to say that Trenton, in its 7 square miles, has more pedophiles in this
Yeah,
city
you go in
than
on it.
we
Go in
have
on it.
in
Go in on
any
it.
surrounding community.
Yeah.
It's sad that the parents do not understand how many pedophiles live in this city, and they send their children out to school. They won't walk them to school. They won't pick them up. And all these abandoned properties along the way,
They can push them
until
in there,
we
yeah.
can get it
Wow.
fixed, or until we can get it demolished, until the city can come up with a plan to take some of those houses, renovate, sell them, and put them on a tax roll, or renovate them and then sell them and put them on a tax roll. You guys have to be vigilant about how you send your children out to school,
That's
because
right.
the abandoned properties, they're very dangerous.
Yes.
Vagrants, fires,
Yeah.
and your children.
That's right.
Be very careful. Get involved.
That's
You
right.
know, so yes, that is a problem.
That's right.
And it takes a lot of money to fix it. So you have to have council to work together, and you have to have a good mayor. A mayor that can go talk to the governor, and that can go talk on a federal level. But I don't know how good the federal level is going to do, because you know what we're dealing with on the federal level right now. But you know, the mayor has to be qualified enough to go sit down and have that conversation with the governor. And listen, the council can have initiatives that they could bring on, because we have certain job descriptions. Our job description is ordinance, resolutions, the budget. The budget is a big part of what we do. Checks and balances. We do advice and consent for all of the mayor's directors, and it takes 4 council to give the advice and consent as a yay to bring them on, or 4 to say nay. And if a director is not doing their job, it takes a supermajority to reprimand them. He could be reprimanded as light as a written warning, or something as harsh as to be fired. But a supermajority on the council can fire any director the mayor brings on.
What about all right, that was great. With the pedophiles, how what is it? What do they come from everywhere else? Do they dump them in our city, or what is it? It's a lot that's probably already here. You know what I mean? But
it's like it's a lot that's here.
Yeah.
And it's a moving thing. I had a problem with the fact that Trenton Rescue Mission is housing every other municipality homeless.
Talk about
But
it. Talk about it.
The people that live in Trenton are footing the bill.
Yes.
As of now, we are footing and have footed the entire bill for the rescue mission. Besides, they get federal funds and things of that nature. But Trenton sponsors a big piece for the homeless.
Yeah.
But there's no other municipality committed to actually giving us money.
Yeah.
And I think that might change. It should have already been changed, because it's been too long. Because a lot of people that has not lived in Trenton, we have an opioid problem. So a lot of the people that doesn't live here, they're taking up some of the beds in the rescue mission, and it leaves out the residents here in Trenton, where Trenton is really shelling out the biggest portion of that money. So I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the other municipalities not doing their part, not giving us any money for
To
those
do
residents
anything,
that was
Wow.
coming from the other outside municipalities.
Yeah. I don't know when did that start? That started a few years now, right?
It's been occurring, and we should have been demanding
Handled
money.
it. Yeah, that's right. Well, I hear certain things of with the finances anyway, that it couldn't. Certain people had to sign off on certain things, which made it a long time of for whatever money was to be dispersed to Trenton, it wouldn't be able to be dispersed to the city because of they had to sign off on.
Well, are you talking about? Are you talking about the MOU that we have with the state, the Memorandum of Understanding?
Yes.
See, we have a Memorandum of Understanding with the state of New Jersey where we deal with community affairs.
Okay.
And community affairs have to sign off on every red penny that is spent
out. Yeah.
That is spent in Trenton. So, you know, as far as hiring, the community affairs. They have to sign off, and spending any funds, they have to sign off. And most things come in front of the council. For example, the council have to review all of the contracts.
That's
but
right.
the council cannot put a contract forward.
That's
Only
right.
the administration can do that.
Okay.
So if we agree that we want to go with this company or go with this law firm, it has to be approved by DCA, the community.
Okay. That's how you write it off. All right.
It has to be approved.
Oh, let me tell him. Yeah, see, I didn't even mention all of it, but she know her way around so well that she could tell me directly, you know, where I'm at with it. That's what I like. That's what I like from a candidate. You know what I mean? That's kind of who I would vote for. I seen her for plenty of years. She tried, and I seen her fight for a lot of things. I seen her fight. So I don't know if you haven't seen her fight. Most of the people up here that's watching, I know it's some people in the background watching. Maybe they haven't signed on. You guys sign on, ask her questions, talk to her if you're not familiar with this, with how everything is moving. But she knows her way around. It's a friend of mine. Talk to him, Kat.
Well, let me tell you this. When they were getting ready to do the Miller Homes project, it was $205 million on the table. And the contractors here, you know, I'm not trying to insult anyone, but we had a lot of bootleg contractors. They didn't have their paperwork. They didn't know how to get their certification that they needed to get on that paper, to get on that job. But also, Penrose did not want to bring them in. They had already begun the project, and they weren't trying to fulfill the Section 3 piece. And the Section 3 piece was that you have to go to all of the residents that lived in Miller Homes first and offer them a job. Even if they didn't have any license or they weren't a part of a union, you would have to bring them on as laborers. And so nobody wanted to sit down with that group of contractors. So what I did was I pulled in people that knew the job, that knew what type of paperwork was needed, because I didn't know, but I knew that I wanted Trenton to be left with some of that money. And let me tell you something, it was a hard battle to fight, because the only person that stood with me was Alex at the time, Alex Bethea. And we ended up not getting a lot of that money. And I'm going to say to all of you out there that's listening that might be contractors, the ones that I brought to the table and got you a position at the table that never even came back and sent a letter. They have another project over at the Dolly Page Homes. I don't know the extent of what is going on with that project, but I'm going to try to get as much information as I can so that you guys can have a seat at the table. Because when people come in and they are dropping $200 million and none of it is left in Trenton, shame on the council, shame on the mayor, because we are not doing our due diligence to make sure that some food is being left on the tables of the residents in the city.
Yeah, that's right. That felt so good. Hold on, I'm sorry. We got to bring y'all feel that? Yeah, that's right. We're supposed to have something left on the table. So they working on Dolly Homes now.
I believe that they're trying to come up with the how they're going to do it. I think they already know what the plan is.
Yeah.
I just don't have the information.
Oh, okay.
I need to get the information.
That's right.
You know, but some of the council people that are sitting there should have that information.
That's right. What about Junior 1? What they going to do with it? You know? Or you don't know?
I don't know yet, but I can definitely find out.
All right. I mean, don't even go into it. You don't got to worry about it.
I don't know about Junior 1 yet, but I can tell you this. You know, we have too many schools.
Yes.
That can be renovated and open. There's a swimming pool in Junior 1.
That's right.
There's a swimming pool in Rivera.
Yeah.
Those schools need to be utilized for programs after school.
That's right.
Our children shouldn't be on the streets because we have too many buildings
that
is equipped with the necessary things. All we need to do is renovate.
That's
we
right.
need to be able to go to a private industry and get some money. We need to be able to go to the federal government and get some money, and we need to be able to go to the state to try to get money to renovate some of these buildings so our children could go in these buildings, and for programs, for after school programs and weekend programs. You know, a lot comes with that because you just can't send a kid into the school even though the building is there. You have to have the right people. The people have to be fingerprinted. You have to have the right staff on board when you're dealing with children. But we can get that done. To me, that's a small piece of what could be done.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a small piece.
Right. A part of that is what I'm having, what I'm listening. Few people are calling me because I used to play sports and whatsoever. But these guys are probably bigger sports guys from the town. Not everyone, but it's a couple of sports guys who are pushing to teach kids the sports, like different sports, basketball, baseball, football. So, you know, programs started closing maybe in the 80s, the late 80s. So they are really pushing to get some, you know what I mean?
And we should have certain programs for our children. You know, I'm just going to tell all of the viewers out there this. I have been to a lot of cities in this United States. And most of the urban centers are the centers that are suffering. But the centers outside of the urban cities, they're thriving. Yeah. I'm not going to say they don't have problems because they have their problems because, you know, that's where your mass shooters come from.
Yeah, outside. That's
but I'm telling you that there's a lot of people doing very well in the surrounding cities from the urban centers.
That's right.
The surrounding boroughs are doing good. When I drive down Ingram Avenue and I'm getting ready to come across from your dad's establishment, Ewing Township is sitting on the next side, corner,
right there,
right from Kelsey Avenue, where that car lot sits there, and that little V, with their bright lights on, saying, "This is where I stop you at." I'm not about to have that out here.
That's crazy.
And you know what? We shouldn't even be producing any children that want to pick up a gun every time they have some small difference.
Yes, that's
you
right.
Know?
That's right. That's right.
We can't bring these children back when they lay them to their grave.
That's right.
So we need to be more conscious about what our children have in the homes, because I'm going to tell you something. Ewing and Hamilton and Lawrence, they are not having it. They are
not having it.
Small numbers, and their cities are bigger than Trenton.
Yeah, that's right.
Trenton is only 7 You know, their cities are bigger than ours, and their numbers are much lower than ours. You know, we need to change that.
That's right.
We need to change that. We need to change the perception of our city, and the way to do it is all of us together.
That's right.
Making a difference.
That's right. That's right. Tell them what your slogan is, Miss Kathy, in between.
Is moving Trenton forward.
That's what we talk about.
We need to get this
That's
done,
right. We need to get this going, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You can't afford to sit home on election day.
Yeah.
And God forbid that it rains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's gonna
put you another excuse not to come out. You know. I hear so many people say, "Oh, my knees hurt." Come on. In order to make a change, you're gonna have to get up and come out and vote.
Through the rain, through the sleet, and all that. You got to.
You know, they have this saying in all the municipalities. Oh, if it rained, they're not coming out in Trenton. You know, come on, guys. Come on, guys. You got to do better than that.
That's right.
You got to do better than that.
That's right.
Gotta be better. I'm telling you,
That's right.
You don't need to just survive. You should be living right around.
That's
there
right.
now.
Yes.
And I don't want to just survive. I want to live. I want
That's
my
right.
grandchildren to live. So you guys, y'all need to help me.
That's
help
right.
You.
That's
you know?
right. That's right. It's a pure heart right here. Levite Church says, "Big Mom, the land of truth is with you." That means she's talking about divine. He's talking about divine land. The Sheriff Peterson, hi Shira. Smile. Yep. Phyllis Hollywood. Patricia, she says, "Vote Kathy McBride." I don't know before I know. I know now. Yeah, if you didn't know, you didn't know now. Yeah. That's right.
Hi, Phyllis. Thank you for your support.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Phyllis. I appreciate it.
Yep, Unique
Phyllis
Brown
is a councilwoman
as well.
And she's an at-large councilwoman, and she and I have not always seen eye to eye, but we always knew how to work together.
That's right.
That made the
That's
difference.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Always knew how to work together. You know, you can have your differences.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I say. You know about. George Michelle and I, we are like staunch, like at war. But let me tell you something. When I need George, I went to George. George, I need this. I need to get this money out of this RCA fund.
Yeah.
I need to get it to the people so they don't have to pay it back. I need to make it a grant. I just ran it by George. I said, George, I need to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy, he didn't vote for me for president, but it was okay. We don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, George makes it happen.
That's
right. He will work with you. He will work across that line with you. And that's what you need on the council. You need people that can set their differences aside and work together. And that's what Phyllis and I had in common. That's what George and I had in common. And so, Phyllis won't be back on the council. I hope that you guys will vote for me. I'm asking you for your support to get out and on May 8th, pull lever number 5, vote for me, and I will do my due diligence to make you proud.
Yes, she will. Yep.
All right.
That's right. Unique Brown. Well, we're not done yet. We're not done.
Okay.
We're gonna keep speaking and just see what people have to say. You know.
Well, I'm a big advocate for IEPs. It's a learning plan, an individualized learning plan for children with special needs.
Dope.
And I'm a big advocate for that. And even if I don't get to make it to the council, I will still help parents advocate for their children to get their IEPs, because when a child is not given the special attention that they need, they cannot grow.
That's right.
And so we need to be very, very particular about assisting them as young as we can. They need to be assisted from the crib. So when you wait till they're 9 or 10, you've already missed the important years.
Yeah, wow.
So, I'm a staunch advocate for children getting their IEPs. That's an individual learning plan, educational plan.
I like that.
So that's something that I like for people to understand, that if you have a child out there, that needs an IEP, or haven't had an IEP, we're headed toward the end of the school year. But my office is at 1240 Trenton Avenue.
Yes.
And you could come up to my office anytime. I'm there 5 days a week and every Saturday during the election.
Yeah.
So come by, see me. If anybody out there in dramatic Mills Land want to volunteer, come to 1240
That's
Princeton Avenue. Come see me. Come holler at a sister.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I do have a young man that works with me to do expungement.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that needs to talk about expungement, if you have more than one felony, it'll be hard to do. But if you only have one felony, I have a gentleman that works with me that can actually help you guys out. So come on by and I'll shoot you over there to him. And also on May the 2nd, the City Hall is having a Help the Residents Day, sponsored by Sonia Wilkinson and Ruth Carter and I think Mrs. Porter, Renee Porter, I believe. So you guys need to get that information too, because they're helping on the spot. Like if you need furniture, voucher for furniture, if you need to talk to someone about a problem, there's going to be somebody there from the court system to see if we can give some people amnesty for the warrants that they had. You won't be arrested. You can come out that day, May the 2nd. Just call the city hall, ask them about the Family Day, 989-3030. Try to get some information. That number is 989-3030 because I don't have the flyer in front of me. So you would have to call the city hall to get that information. But you guys pass that along to some of your family and your friends. It's a complete family day. The family day is based on helping people that needs to be placed in a house or an apartment. They have the people on site to do the application, and they will screen you right then and there. There will be people out there from oh God, what is it called now? TANF, where is the public system? I think it's called TANF. They'll have someone there for that. They'll have someone there to talk about the Medicaid for the children, the vouchers for furniture, about your warrants, if you have any like outstanding tickets for traffic violations. So you guys get up, come out on May the 2nd and see if you can get some help.
Yeah, share this. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
For anybody that was caught up into that scheme with the people renting houses that didn't own the houses,
yeah, talk to them.
You should come out because they're gonna place you that day if you can prove that you gave them money and you were scammed up out of your money and don't have any place to go, or you're living with family and friends. Come out that day. They're gonna try to get you placed that day, which is May the 2nd. It's being sponsored by the city of Trenton. So call 989-3030 and ask for Sonia Wilkins, Renee Porter, or Ruth Carter.
Important information. She's giving y'all real good information. If you guys can, please share the information. If someone's not watching this show, we probably need as many people as we can to watch that, especially certain parts, especially that part right there. We need that because I know some people personally. Unique Brown says, vote Kathy McBride, change will come. Juice shouting out Miss Holly. Luddy Austin says, thank you for the valuable information you're providing. Brandy Ezekiel says yes. Nashira says, vote Kathy McBride, she will change the city. Phyllis Holly Ward says, hey Juice, glad you supporting. Yeah, and Juice want to go into something else, but I'm gonna go into something else. Carla Williams says, so the state is running the city budget. She asked.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The state has ran the city's budget since December of 2010. Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Under Memorandum of Understanding, the MOU.
So they could just come in at any time and just do what they want, or
they're already here.
They're here. They're here, right?
Here. They've been running the budget since 2010 in December.
Yeah, so it's almost 10 years.
Yeah, so they're already here.
Wow. Keisha Craig says, love you, and from myself and my grandmother, Miss Carter. From Laurel.
Oh, Miss Carter knows she's my favorite girl.
All right. Yeah. Keisha Craig also says, love you. Juice is in the back for those that don't see him. Shira says, say it, girl. Carla says, preach correct. So true. It's a lot of short words. Nicole and Nikki Worlds Moses says, Juice. Juice is a superstar back there, so he gets shout out. Jason Morton says, if we were to get them buildings, the old schools open, what would you Skittles? What would you use them for, Miss McBride?
I would like to use them for after-school activities for the children, the tutoring. Our children in the public school system is functioning on some of the lowest levels, and we need the science, math, technology. I think that and activities is good, but a child needs to know how to read and write. In my house, you get nothing unless you can read.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you
Yeah.
leave my house, if you can't do anything else, you're gonna know how to read.
That's right.
So that needs to be a top priority for all families.
That's
you
right.
know, and I'm not trying to knock anyone. But if you don't sit down with your child and allow your child to read to you so you can see what level that child is on, that's a problem for me.
That's
because
right.
every parent should know how much help their children need.
Yeah.
And if you can't, we don't sometimes have the patience to teach our children, but there's people that have patience. That's why there's teachers. That's why there's tutors. So I would use those buildings for tutoring, math, science, technology, things of that nature.
The upgrade. You saying the upgrade
to bring them up to standard,
right.
because they're not up to standard. So that's what I would like to use the school for. I don't, everything is not a basketball to me. And everything is not a football, because because the bottom line is only 0.1% of them are going to make it to the NFL, but they still need to know how to read and write.
Right. Yeah,
because
that's
even though they go out for sports, right now they still make them. Before you could get by, and they would give you a tutor, but now they won't. So you need to know how to read and write.
That's
so
right.
my whole thing is, I would like to use those buildings for after-school tutoring, being the first thing. But the school is so large that you can use it for swimming.
That's
they have
right.
a pool there, so that's an activity too. Swimming is an activity. So those type of things, I would use it for that.
Yeah.
But getting some tutoring, that would be my first choice.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot of little John Valentine. What's up from Philadelphia? Hold on. First of all, let me shout out Philadelphia, Camden, Newark. I'm sorry, y'all. This is a show for Trenton, but I shout y'all out because Sundays I do my shows and people from all over watch. Trenton, of course, Camden, Newark, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Delaware, D.C., North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Macon, Savannah, Palm Beach, Miami, Pensacola, Tallahassee, New Orleans. I'm gonna go over Dallas, Texas, Los Angeles, and some more. I said a lot of them last night. Toronto, Canada, Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. You know what I mean? This is a Trenton thing. Right now we have Kathy Mcbride in the building, and she's running for council at large. You on the Winston Dramatic Show, and we just speaking. Carla Williams says, "Preach, Queen." Let's see. Phyllis Holly Ward says, Trenton residents' first fact. Did you know our current West Ward councilwoman voted against not Trenton residents, but men who are West Ward residents to keep their jobs? You know about that? You know what she's saying? You know what she's saying, Miss McBride?
No, what
she just Miss Phyllis Holly Ward says Trenton residents' first fact. Did you know? Our current West Ward councilman,
Zachary
voted against not Trenton residents, but men who are West Ward residents to keep their jobs. Time for a change. I know.
And I'm not familiar with it, but you're gonna have her on one day this week, right?
Yeah.
So
she's coming. To talk about her. My brother, this is my brother right here. He says, I love the honesty. Yeah, she's honest. She always been honest. He said hi, too. Paul said hi.
I tell your brother, how y'all tricking me talking about some Winston Dramatic Bill? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't know it like that. If you would have just been like Winston, she would have been, she would have knew it that way. Yeah.
I was like, Eminem.
She would have knew it like that.
Right on.
I said that. I said, yeah, Miss Cat, tell her to call me. I'm like, what y'all playing? Keep Away or something?
No.
So I was like, not you. Everybody else playing Keep Away. I'm like, ask her to call me. The V Church says, I meant big ups to you. Keep doing your thing. And he also shouted Juice out.
Dramatic.
Yes.
I can't ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Just
I'm sorry, I can't do it like this, man.
Like that.
I can't do it like you. I can't do it like
Let's see what's up. Crazy. Darryl Brooks also says hello.
It's like, where's Dow at?
Daryl, where you at? If you're watching, don't call right now, but she
We'll
wanted to
talk
know
to you
where you are.
later.
Yeah, we'll talk in a minute. Carla Williams says,
Yeah, I
wow.
want to give a big shout out to John Harmon. John Harmon
Yeah,
gave me a
yeah.
nice endorsement.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for John
John
Harmon.
Harmon, yeah, wow, yeah,
John,
Yep, wow, yeah, that's
I
right.
like to give it up for Sam Bell.
Yeah,
Sam Bell gave me a big endorsement.
Yeah,
All right, Sam
yeah,
Bell. Hey.
Yep, that's right.
Cliff Anderson.
Give 'em
okay.
shouts out.
Cliff Anderson. All right. I like to give a big shout out to the Greens and to all my family out there.
That's
I
right.
love you guys. We had a big event Saturday past down at the office, and a lot of people came through. I appreciate all the support that I get from the community. If you know someone that would like to volunteer for me on May the 8th, just tell them to come down to 1240 Princeton Avenue. That's right down in front of the bakery. I'm there 5 days a week,
Yeah.
and every Saturday I'm there.
That's right.
Holla at a sister now.
Chip Maley says, the Jew says, you might have a better chance if the sign was reversed because they messing with my camera. Fuck, they ain't messing with you. Y'all off the hook. But yeah, Kim
Hey,
Beecham.
listen, Juice do know how to read and write because he wouldn't be here. Don't
That's
sign
right.
him, Mr. Bone.
That's right. Kim Beecham says, and yeah, she says, bring back the arts to the city. Levy Church says, yes, the schools. A lot of people are on the schools. Carla Williams says, Miss McBride, who gave the state control over the city budget authorization to do that.
Well, the state is where we get most of our funding from. So the state is over the municipalities. We're all under the governor,
Federal,
and then you get your mayors. So that's the state level. This is the local municipal level. So the state is greater than the municipality. So when money is being spent and it's not being spent in a proper manner, someone has to come in. Okay, and so that's how we got under an MOU, because money wasn't being allocated in the proper places. So now you have an overseer. They even had a state monitor. I don't know when they're gonna get rid of that, but the schools had a state monitor in the schools, because when you mismanage money, then someone has to come in and say, hey, you know what? You guys can't get this right.
Right, yeah.
And so we have to monitor it.
Wow.
And so that's where we are with that.
So the schools aren't in trouble. They're not.
Schools have had a state monitor.
So they have a federal. It's almost a federal
state.
controlling.
It's
like
a state.
it is
State.
the state, but not
We
federal.
have, no.
Okay.
The state. The state is who comes in and take over.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
Not
the
federal.
feds.
Okay.
That's a whole different branch
Okay,
of government.
okay.
The state does. And so we've had a state monitor.
Yeah. For years
for
now.
years.
You're saying.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We had a state monitor as far back as I can remember. Is with I think with Lidl.
Yeah.
It came right after Lidl.
Hmm.
Right after Lidl, I think the state monitor came in.
Took over.
You know,
Wow.
I could be wrong on that. I would have to ask Joyce Kersey, because she sat on the board and Don Shelton sat on the board, and they would be able to tell me exactly when the state monitor came in for the board. But yes, we've had a state monitor. There was a lot of money squandered through our public school system.
Yeah.
And yes. It's just, I have there's a video out there somewhere in video land where I was running for mayor, and most of you out there know that in 2014 I ran for mayor, and I wasn't successful in the bid, and that left like a bad taste in my mouth, and so I really wasn't going to run in this election.
Yeah.
And George Michel called me.
Yeah.
He called me every day, and I said, George, I said, I can't. I said, the people don't appreciate, the things that you do and how hard you work, and this job is not easy. I said, and for them to slap me in my face like that, I said, it was hurting.
Yeah.
So you know, my mom, she, you know, being my mother, 81 years old, full of wisdom, she said to me, she said, this has never been about you. So why are you making it about you now? You know, you need to get out there and do what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
Do what you are supposed to do.
That's
It's
right.
never been about you. Don't make it about you now.
That's
so
right.
what your feelings are hurt.
That's right.
Dust yourself up. Dust yourself off.
Yep.
You know, what's that record? Who is that?
Yeah,
Dust yourself off and try again.
Try
you
again,
know?
that's right.
And so here I am, you know, just swallowing that pill because she said your pride is something that you can swallow that won't kill you.
That's right.
Swallow it and get out there and do what you're supposed to do.
That's lovely too. Oh man, that sounds so good. Feel good too. We've been on for like for an hour. You want to wrap it up and give them a knockout blow?
Listen, guys. Kathy Mcbride. I'm running for city council at large. That's for all 4 wards in the city. I'm ballot number 5.
That's right.
May the 8th, get out and vote for me. I would appreciate it if you did. It would help a lot for you guys to come out if you're registered voters. Give me that support. My office is at 1240 Princeton Avenue.
Yes.
Come out and see us, sister. I need your support, and I'll do my best to work as hard as I can for you.
That's right.
Thank you, and have a blessed evening.
That's family right there, well seasoned. We out of here.